God is good, and all the time. I want to take a minute to talk about myself. Mimi najua, I know mimi ni sura mbaya. And everything that I touch with these hands is blessed and gets to the end. And I'm starting from that point because I was trained in a Starehean way. And I want to thank His Excellency the President for allowing the special schools run by churches to be run by churches. I also want to ask him in this forum, even though I was with him in the morning, I thought it wasn't good to ambush him, to look at the case of Starehe Boys Centre, which is a special school for the poor, run for the poor like myself, who should not have been where I am. And the reason I'm saying this is that everything that I have done in this country, I've been to universities, I've trained many surgeons, but everything that has been driving me is the training that I got at Starehe Boys Centre. So please leave Starehe alone. If there are thieves there, arrest them and take them to court and let the law take its course. Otherwise, from my point of view, I will give my last drop of blood to Starehe Boys Centre. I thought I would say that very clearly and openly, that nobody should come and destroy what has worked for the past 50 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Madam CS, it is now 3 odd years since I was appointed to this position by His Excellency the President, at first against my own personal will and desire. But being the President, I said, let me go and see, because I didn't know anything about primary school or high school. I want to say here now that both the President, the Minister then in charge of Education, General Kaiseri, who was then in charge of Interior, and Mucheru, who was in charge of ICT, we sat together and agreed that there was going to be a multi-agency approach to this process. And the President confirmed to us that anything that we wanted was going to be given. I want to affirm here and now that since we discovered the container system, everything we have wanted has been provided. I believe in performance targeting, which means I start from the end. I don't lobby. So if you are to judge us with what you can measure. And I think the rest is history. I want to start by commending those people who started to re-engineer the examination process, and also the one who is continuing with it, Madam Amina Mohammed, and move on from there to say that we have recognized the special agencies without whom we may not have had control of the examination. I told you 1,000 times that the examination has not leaked. But because I'm a Kenyan, nobody believed me. Can we get faith back into our own country? Because we still saw you, a few of you doing funny things, buying fake papers and so on. So this examination has been credible, it has not leaked, it was set by Kenyans and managed by Kenyans, and you can see the results are going to be given to you by our leader, who is Amina Mohammed. That's the first point. Clap for yourselves. What are you waiting for? The second point, ladies and gentlemen, KNEC and government have not taken our teachers for granted. Our teachers are great teachers by all standards. And the work that they have done, you have seen that this year they have marked this exam with 2 extra days to spare. Last year we delivered on 21st, today we are delivering on 19th. There are busybodies out there who will think, well, but how can this happen? You have so much capacity that in my most humble view, you are just using maybe up to 60% of it. If you want to use 80%, things can even be better. So I want to salute and celebrate the majority of our teachers who have taken part in setting the questions, moderating them, proofreading them, giving them to candidates, marking them, and now giving us the results back to announce to you. We must not take this for granted. But my charge to you is that we can do better than this. Let people not say, well, how come? If everything is ready, why should we wait? Secondly, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached a stage now where we have agreed that cheating is in the past. A very small percentage of teachers, education officers, TSC officials, even KNEC people, and some what have yous out there, are still in the habit of trying to expose the exam prematurely. You should be ashamed of yourself, because we shall not allow you. Because you can ask yourself, if we are dealing with over 1 million, and we have only cancelled 4 cases, which is basically not something that you can worry about. Stop wasting your time. I'm not going to talk about the results, because the results are going to be released by the CS in charge of education. But I can tell you that I'm very, very happy indeed that those people who still have doubts in their minds should actually join us in moving forward with what we are doing. Before I take too much time, I want to say one thing. It is good enough for us to say that we are getting somewhere, but the question I and you and the minister and even the president, the question they should be asking is, as Kenyans, are we going to sustain this, or are we going to import people to sustain it? And my question to you is, why should we not be able to sustain it? Why? It's unfortunate that my son is already old, but if I had another one, I would accept the result he gives me wholeheartedly and support him through life. Finally, allow me, Madam CS, to talk to parents through this medium. Our parents have failed, maybe me included. Why do you produce children? Why do you produce children when you have no time for them? It is like extra baggage. Children just grow. Do you get the point? To the extent that even when God gives you back the children for 2 months, say, but what are we going to do with them? It is our duty to ensure that we spend some quality time with our children. And I would say amen to that, and I hope we mean it. Because you cannot allow your child, I see some things in the social media which I cannot mention here. A child who is not even 10, 11 years, you are allowing your child to sneak out at night. How stupid can you be? If you cannot make sure you know where your child is at that time in the night. And God was very kind of you to give you the child. Let's stop crying foul about pregnancies. We are responsible for them. As a practicing surgeon, I will tell you that if you are not, it doesn't matter how well a doctor you are. If you are absent when you are required, then you are non-existent. You shouldn't even be there. So if you are a parent where you are either looking for drugs, or you are in the bar, or you are with your friends doing other things, and your children are getting pregnant before they even get 15, do you think God was too kind for you? He should not have allowed you to have a child. So that, Madam says, I'm emphasizing this, I know you'll talk about it, but we have to treat the cause, not the symptom. Stop shouting, we'll give them another exam. Who has told you that we are going to give them another exam? Make sure your children don't get pregnant. What are you talking about? Madam CS, let me leave it there just to say that I am very happy, but I want to quote Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin says, no condition is permanent. You get the point? And you should just do your best when you are there. Do your best. If God takes me tomorrow, so be it. Stop thinking about things which are mundane and beyond you. So why don't we do the same? So that once you have taught the children, stop behaving like a chocolate, passing a paper out across the window. You are a teacher, and teachers are next to God, for heaven's sake. And I'm talking about less than 0.1%, but they are there. Are we together? I personally am a teacher. I've taught for over 41 years, and therefore I can afford to tell you what I'm telling you because I've also gone through the whole process. So can we get our country back together, and all this nonsense of applying so much money in the process of examining stops? Because at Starehe Boys Centre, when I did my exam 50 years ago there was one teacher with the exams in the boot of his car. He was black like me. We did the exam and he went away with it. He was also black. What has happened to us? That is my parting message to you. Thank you very much.